A huge hoard of 90% silver came into the shop. Gonna let you know about this one. This one's quite interesting. So help me out with the thumbs up, my friends. Share the video out. Come join the Stop the Melt team. We're all about stopping the melt here right now. No more melting. We'll discuss that as well. Let's get into the video right now. Older woman and husband came in. They were in the late 80s. Maybe she was a little bit older. Not quite sure. I just guess at age. Late 80s, early 90s. Husband was giving her back in the day, in 64, 65, 66, 67, all the way up. About $25 a day he would give her cash. She would go to the bank. She worked for the bank for many, many, many years in Chicago. And what she would tell us, she was the bank manager. She would tell us, they see coins 64 and before. She's willing to pay them 2 times face back in the day. So think about this. 64 comes around. The husband had an incline of what's going on with our money. Stripping our 90% silver away. So she would go to the tellers. So you find any 64 prior, I'll buy it from your register. I'll buy it and I'll give you the extra half, the 1 times face. So she gave him like a little tip. She did this for years. Right? She worked for the bank until about 1984. Of course, the bank changed names a couple of times. But this is how they stacked. She was getting 2 times. She was paid 2 times face. Sometimes she didn't pay any times face. If she finds it on her own circulation, her own change at grocery stores, farmers market, she said, other retail outlets when she got change back. So a good portion of it did come to the bank. And they hung on to it. She had all the half dollars separated. Now, they weren't separated by the Kennedy halves, the Walken halves, the Franklin halves. Dimes were not separated. Roosevelt dimes, Mercury dimes, some Baba dimes mixed in. Quarters, same thing. Staying Liberty quarters, Baba quarters. It ended up to be $5,250 plus. If some change on the end of the $50, I believe it was 60 cents, 70 cents, whatever it was. And I said, are you sure you want to cash this out now? She says, oh yeah, we're moving to Hawaii by Christmas. And so we paid out very fairly. She says, you gotta be kidding me. We paid her 32 times face, my friends. 32 times face. And I said, ma'am, I would like to get your phone number in case we find a rare coin. We can call you up. And if, I says, you're not going to Hawaii until Christmas time, you says, we got time to process this stuff. Give us a few weeks to go through these buckets. Absolutely. This is just another story that they are still out there, my friends. Big hoards never been searched through. Who knows what it's in this hoard? Who knows? I said, have you ever been through these? And the husband said, no, we'd never been through them for the dates. We never. All I knew, he said, silver was going up. I said, well, let me ask you this. I said, how could you hang on to it in the 80s when silver was $50 an ounce? He says, to be honest with you, I didn't realize at the time, because we were so busy working, we weren't really paying attention to the news. He said, 2011, we just sat, and we saw it drop. And we said, we're going to hold it. He says, this is the time. The kids don't want it. This is the time to sell it now. So you're sure you want to sell it all one day? I said, you're not leaving until Christmas. So why not, as the price goes up, he says, I got it here now. I just want it gone. And the wife agrees. She says, yeah, we just want it gone. I said, okay. So we put it through the counter. And then he asked me, he says, I just got a question for you. He says, you're not going to turn this into the smelter. I said, no, sir. Why would you ask that? He says, well, He said, I know some coin shops up north are starting to smelt a lot of this stuff down. I said, no, sir, we don't smelt anything down. He said, oh, good. He said, it's going to get saved then. I said, yeah, it's going to get saved. I said, we don't do that. I said, we might sell some of it back to the wholesaler depending on our safe issue. I says, if we have room in the safe or not. I said, but we got to leave them 5-gallon buckets so we start going through it. Some of this. I don't think we're going to be selling it back to the wholesaler, my friends. We're selling it so fast. This is why I urge people now, if you are looking for 90% silver, any type of silver, where's a 5-ounce silver bar, check out channel sponsor Pinbacks. I announced earlier today about the platinum. The 2 eagles that they had, they're gone. I just checked. The maple platinums, leaf, they're gone. They got 1/10 ounce Britannia random years in the platinum version. Very good price. Check channel sponsor Pinbacks out if you want platinum right now. Don't let those get away from you. Platinum is moving, my friends. Dimes are moving. We had a little bit of a down day today. These people were so happy with the check they got. And I said, do you realize what you're giving up here? That's what I was trying to get that. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I said, you're giving up a fortune right now. I said, this could be a lot higher that values. Before I print this check, are you really sure you want to sell it all today? And they said, yeah, go ahead. Well, now we're going to be on the hunt for these buckets. We called the girl that's helping us out, going through the coins. We said, if you want some more hours this week, come on in, whatever day you want, and we just clock in when you come in, clock out when you leave. And if you want to go through some more coins, we're happy to have you help. She said she'll be there in the morning. It's going to take us a while to go through these coins. These have only been searched. These have not been searched through. We're not in dire need right now for this 90% silver. These are stories that are still out there, my friends. That there's hordes out there. They're coming into the light once again. I was like a little kid in a candy store with all this 90% silver. I'm seeing going in the 5-gallon buckets with the counter. Of course, we can't separate Mercury's from the Roosevelt. The dimes are going with the dimes. The quarters are going with the quarters. The halves are going with the halves. I'm just watching this. I'm just amazed. And I'm shocked. I'm like a little kid. Because I love the 90% silver. We got the passion for 90%. Why we got to stop the melt? There is not enough to go around. There's not enough 90% silver to go around. It's being melted down. Come join us with Stop the Melt campaign. It is crazy what is going on. These coin shops that are smelting down are pathetic, in my book. All they care about that stupid dollar. That means nothing. Really? You want to melt down your silver for a fallen asset with a dollar bill? Really? Come on, coin shops. Come on, pawn shops. Let's do the right thing here. You know, I get some of these coin shops don't deal with a wholesaler. Okay? I'm hearing stories. Some of the smelters are paying more for this silver. Okay. Why not sell it to your public for the same price the smelters are buying it for? And if that is really true, which I don't know if that's to be true or not, I'm going to be perfectly honest here. So let's not make assumption this is what one person's saying is the truth. Lower your bid, lower your buybacks then. Lower your buybacks so you don't have to send it to the smelters. Even drop it more. If you're really having a hard time, which I call BS on it. BS, these coin shops are not selling 90% silver. BS. When I'm looking at channel sponsored pinbacks and I'm seeing it flying off their shelves, we're having it flying off our shelves. I'm a little worked up because I know we're not melting our stuff down. We're going to have fun going through these coins in the next couple weeks. And we're going to get it done before they go to Hawaii to live. And that's what they want to do, my friends. I mean, you know, they've already bought a house. She says this check will help very much towards the house. House is already pre-sold. And they're saying they want to be, the people who bought the house down here for them, they said they want to be in the house by the first of the year. So they're all working together. This is what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to do this as a team. We are the team which stopped the melt. We are the team. There's no I in team. What else is going on at the shop to this today? We had some more buybacks today of silver. We sold a lot of silver out the door today too. Gold is going through the roof. Gold is over $4,000 an ounce. Are we awake yet? Are we awake yet? I cannot believe the cost of a 10th ounce gold right now. Holy cow. But this is a good time to get your 10th ounce gold. Gold's getting expensive. If you don't own any gold, maybe it's the time to get some 10th ounce gold. I wish I could afford that, but I'm not touching it right now. Okay, I'm not touching gold right now. Me personally, not because I don't like gold. I'm a silver bug. And I want to get more silver before the price really goes up. Yeah, we had a little bit of down day in silver, so what? You haven't lost anything. Don't make a reaction on one day that silver goes down $1 or $2 and gotta go sell it for no reasons. Have a reason to sell it. Have a good gosh darn reason to sell it, like these people did. But did they have to sell it at once? I don't think so. Alright, I was trying to tell them, look, sell some of it today, sell some more next week. Go all the way up, but we don't know where silver price is going to end up this year. We all think it's going to be above 50, right? We all think gold's going to stay above 4,000 before the end of this year, but nobody knows that. Nobody knows for sure. You know, but we can play the guessing game with numbers. Yeah. But right now we're living in exciting times. Well, exciting times of the metals. Not so much for inflation. And wars breaking out. Everything else, the dollar crumbling. BRICS are going to be very, very strong here, my friends. Don't get fooled by these BRIC nations. They're coming together. They're making their own team. Stack as you can. This should be a warning to us all. Precious metals are not going to go straight up every single day. Stocks don't go up every single day. Gas prices fluctuate every single day. Keep this all in mind as you stack. We got to get the dollar bill out of our heads. How much dollars can I make off a couple 64 halves? How much dollars can I make off a 5-ounce silver bar when I bought it 3 years ago? Yeah, I look back. Okay, I look back when I got 2 cases or 2 boxes of the germanium 1-ounce bars. Some paperwork on these. I paid roughly about $620 back then. They're over $1,000 today. Am I jumping for joy? No. Because you got to count inflation in. Am I getting rich off of it? No. Here's the thing. Prices keep going up on everything. Silver and gold are not meant to make you rich. There's some bad information out there. Look at everything else going up in price. Everything is going up. How are you really getting that rich off of it? Have you done okay with it? Yeah. But are you going to get rich off it? Probably not. Probably not. That's not what silver and gold is for. Silver and gold is to protect you against the gosh darn falling dollar, which is happening right now. You really think the stable coin It's going to be the whirlwind of everything. Total government control. How's that going to work when the power goes out in your area? How are you going to transact with your debit card when the power's out in your area? You can't. You know, just all it takes is somebody hit a telephone pole. That's all it takes, my friends. And just in your local area, your power could be out for 5 or 6 hours. What happens if it's longer? What happens if you get a storm and it's out for 3-4 days, a week? What happens if we get an EMP that fly up over us and knocks out the power in certain portions of the country? You need something physical. That's where it comes to be silver and gold. Okay, that's where it comes to be silver and gold. Think about what it's done in the 50s, 40s, 30s, for 5,000 flipping years, my friends. We've been transacting in gold for a long, silver, gold for a long time. Yeah, I'm like a kid at the coin shop. But I really dislike when people come in and they sell the whole stack. Especially when they got time to sell it before they go out somewhere else to live. Now that kind of, didn't sit with me. But it's not my silver. It's theirs. But what a great story of somebody knowing enough to give the wife $25 a day. And the wife going to her staff and say, hey, look, you find this type of material, I'll give you double face. I'll pay the bank back to 1 times face. I'll give you personally 1 times face for finding it. Think about how that was done. Every single day. Maybe she didn't spend all $25 in one day. But, sometimes she didn't have the money, she said, all one day. Too much came across. They put it there for tomorrow. Put it on the side. She was buying up as much as friends. She had friends also coming and buying up the stuff when she couldn't afford to do it. Friends, she said they always sold off. Back into 2011. She says, I don't know where some of my friends went off to. Some of the tellers were stacking it too. Of course, she lost contact with some of them, but it is what it is. But having the mindset back then, it just blows my mind that we still have a lot of yes, there's still a lot of 90% silver out there. But if you really stop and think about it, if everybody comes into this market and goes buy $10, $15 face, there's not going to be enough for everybody to go around. There's not going to be enough. Somebody's not going to have their 90% silver. We have no idea how much milk has got melted down. They don't keep track of those numbers. So what you see in the red book, the blue books, there's less than that, my friends, out there. On every year, every mint mark, there's going to be less and less and less. Because we have no idea how much this stuff has really got it melted down. And it's shameful. This is happening. Come join this team. When you're asking your coin shops, your pawn shops, be nice. I cannot stress that enough. Pressure them to stop the melt. Ask them why they're not using the wholesaler. Ask them why they can't sell it to channel sponsor pinbacks. Ask them why they can't sell it to public for the same price they get from the smelters. These are opportunities to stop the melt right now. This is the opportunity right now, my friends, to get it stopped. Or to get part of it stopped. If we can at least get 15, 25% of this stopped, I'd be happy. We're not going to get 100% of it stopped. But if we can just change a few minds, a few coin dealers out there, a few pawn shops out there, we just change their minds a little bit. Say, stop the melt because you're not going to make any more money later. If we can get that through their heads, This will stop the melt on some of it. Let's change some coin shops' minds. Let's change some pawn shops' minds together. Come join this team. If you folks have any questions for me about silver, gold, or platinum, reach out to me. I'm always here to answer people's questions. If I happen to miss your email after 48 hours, email me again. Say second attempt, wake up, coin shop Chris, whatever to get my attention. I don't intend to miss people's emails. Now, some of them have been a little bit nasty. I just don't reply back. So if you're going to be nasty, I'm not going to reply back. Of course not. Like I said before, you don't like to watch this channel, go watch cartoons. Go watch the Roadrunner. Go play Candyland. If you don't have a deck of cards at home, go to Walmart. Go buy a deck of cards. Pull out the jokers. Play 52 pickup. Maybe that'd be more entertaining than what I bring to the table here. Nobody's making anybody watch this channel or anybody else's channel for silver and gold. And I tell you, some of these comments you see on other people's channels as well are just horrendous. Look, you don't like this type of material, don't watch us then. You know, we don't need to be attacked back. We just don't need it. Because we're not going to respond to you all. I'm not going to respond to nasty emails. I'm not going to respond to nasty comments. We don't have time for it. There's nothing anybody can say that's going to hurt my feelings or make me stop doing videos. Go make your own channel then. Come back and tell us that you made your own channel. So we can come and troll you. See how you like it. That's all. We're supposed to be a team here. Let's respect one another. Stop the Melt team is growing. Come join us. Thank you for getting me over 8,400 subscribers, you all. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. More than you know. It's not easy to come on here and do 2 videos a day. Working at the coin shop. Takes a lot of hard work. Maybe it's not so hard, but you get the idea. I'm going to be here for you to keep you updated what's going on in the metals market. I'm going to keep you updated what's going on at the shop. I'm going to keep you updated what Michael and Brian are telling you from channel sponsor Pinbacks of what they're seeing. What more can you ask for? Thanks for watching. Crazy Coin Shop Chris is out. We will see you next video.